I think you have to involve the other big thing that happens in college, which is generally an explosion in the use of alcohol and drugs.
Exactly.
Which totally, that's when all this thinking goes right out the window. And I think that's the big problem at the same time, is that a lot of kids, when they first get to college, I mean, I'm not saying they never drank alcohol before they came to college, or they didn't use drugs before they came to college. I would say that for most, there's going to be an increase in that behavior, where it becomes somewhat normal. Instead of before, you know, like, ooh, we're getting drunk. Now it's like, oh, let's have a beer. You know, and so I think it changes everything. I think that when it comes time for that awkward moment's a lot different when you're drunk. Sometimes it's not even a moment, it's just a millisecond.
Maybe also the wrong message was sent to, during the whole, in the 80s when the whole AIDS epidemic was really going on, that it just, I mean, it seemed like you got all these messages like you cannot do sex without a condom, absolutely not, even if you're monogamous. And it put such a restriction on you that you felt like you couldn't trust anybody.
They were too extreme.
Right, and I think if you are in a monogamous relationship and you trust your partner, you feel like there's trust, I wouldn't be so rigid on like applying these safe sex rules.
Well, I think it would be a mistake to say that it didn't have any effect, because I do honestly think it had an effect. It had an effect on me personally, I can say, so if anything, there's one person. I know that it had an effect on my previous sexual partners, because they had the same ideas and the same issues in their head. And I know that it's had an effect on my friends. Many of my friends insist that they have their partners tested for any kind of STDs before they engage in sexual relations with them. And I don't think that that was such a prevalent case back before these messages were sent. So there definitely has been an effect.
But if we go back, I mean, one of the discussions we had earlier was that, you know, women are the gatekeepers with heterosexuals. Women are the gatekeepers for sex. Why aren't women the gatekeepers for condoms?
I would argue that in most cases women do control the birth control in relationships in terms of making the actual decision of what type will be used and being consistent about it.
Unfortunately, yeah, women are the ones that stand to be, I don't know what you want to say, screwed over the most. It's kind of a bad term, but...
No pun intended.
No pun intended at all, but they're the ones that are kind of left with the child, the problem, the pregnancy. And if the man wanted to, they could just disappear.
So back to the abortion
So yeah,
issue.
why would they